Farnborough village and the churchyard fields around the back of St Giles's Church. I found out I've taken a break from the other bit of filming because I want to get more footage of other things, and I thought this should be a quick video, but this could be a complete disaster. I might not be able to find it. Now apparently, from a local gentleman I know, there was a memorial of a Spitfire crash site, and I have tried looking online. He said it's just a concrete stone or something, and I looked online. Now all around here, being near Biggin Hill and across the North Downs, is littered with crash sites, some fantastic ones that during my travels and future travels no longer will come about, and put them, you know, tell the story of those poor pilots, you know, both British and German. But I've looked online for any history. I've not gone to the local. There's a fantastic website which I'll put a link in the description of the local Farnborough Historical Society, because Farnborough itself is steeped in history. During the war, it got heavily bombed purely because it was on the bombing run to Biggin Hill. It was, you know, took a lot of casualties, and some of the stories I found out just trying to research this plane, but I cannot find anything about this pilot. And again, he's only one of few, but I know these woods, and I haven't been there since a child. I've been there, well, I've probably been there since then, but it's always one of those things, you pass something without even noticing it. So we've just parked in the lane just down from St Giles's Church, and I'm going to sort of walk over that way. Now years ago, I'm going to find out a little bit more about this from the chap I know, because I forgot to ask him about it. We used to play in this old crater when Dad used to pop up to the local pub, the Woodman or the Change of Horses, and we used to come down here because this is all part of what becomes High Elms. And I don't know whether this was where this is all like this, whether this was a bomb damage where during the raids and things on to Biggin Hill by the Luftwaffe they bombed it. But we're just at the back of the church up there, and we'll see what we can find. This could be a bit of a disaster. It is so packed up here. I don't know, there must have been some arranged walking club, but they're everywhere. The traffic I've had to come through is just unbelievable. But we'll head on out into these fields. We'll see what we can find, but we will come back to the church because there are some war graves there. So I think, if nothing else, we'll just have a look for them. Right, I'm at this field, the back of the cemetery, and I'm just having a bit of a look over there. But there's people down there. There's just absolutely a herd. I call it a herd rather than a pack of dogs. But I can't see anything out there just as yet. But I was told it's in these woods. So we're gonna take a stroll down, and I think we might just have to sort of peep around some bushes if we can find anything. Well, I'm walking down, I'm trying to avoid people, but I'm just come across this and what looks to be a couple of graves. I don't know, have we found it already? Are we that lucky? It doesn't often happen like that. Yeah, this was part of the Lubbock family graves, and this is their burial site. The Lubbock family, I've done a bit of research on and off over the years, but they're sort of buried here down and away from the church. which I'm not sure why, but this is Eric Reginald Lubbock, and I actually saw he's recently died. These are 2018 and 2016, I guess him and his wife. And I looked at this, and it shows it on Google Maps. I did see this, but this is obviously the main family gravestone. But the Lubbock family pretty much were like a big huge family in this area, and I believe High Elms house, oh Navi, that's great, High Elms house, they resided there for a bit. But I've just got to check. Yeah, there's another, this is all their local cemetery really, but not quite what I'm looking for, but it's a brilliant bit of history which I'll link up. Well, I'm just reading some of these graves. It's a bit of a nightmare. This is you know, awkward. There's so many people. I'm not really that confident still talking and walking, especially when people look at you like you're some lunatic, you know. But yeah, this is the Lubbock family grave, and I've read on and off loads of parts of them, about them, sorry, in parts of history. But I want to really find this because I kind of knew this was here. So, and everyone's seen this sort of location, but I want to see this, if we could find this stone that's just left to that pilot, because it's not listed anywhere that I can find. And I'm hoping if there is something, could even give me a name or something. I suppose the Biggin Hill Memorial Museum would have a bit more history on him, but I like to find these things for my own, so we keep looking. But it's really dodgy here. Behind me is the road, the lane. I can hear traffic. There's dogs everywhere, and being this isn't countryside, well it is, it's a country sort of walk to the country park, High Elms, which was the High Elms estate. It's busy with people who, you know, loads of little dogs, and I can see a load more coming up towards me. Dog walkers that take people's dogs out, and it just goes into mayhem really with all of the dogs at once. So, well, we'll keep going this way. Well, we're not having any luck really. Let's say we do these unscripted, to find out a little bit about what we're looking for beforehand. But this case, I've just got a local's testimony that it's here. Now he's probably right. I mean, Spitfire, well, Hurricanes and Spitfires, you know, even German planes came crashing down around these parts, you know, during the Battle of Britain. But it doesn't mean that there wasn't a memorial, a marker stone. Well, I'm walking back past these, and I want to turn them over, but I'm a firm believer of leave things alone, because if that is part of a war memorial, then it should be left. Well, we're heading back deeper in, but I do kind of think we need to be nearer that field and not back closer to the road. But process for elimination. But those stones I find a bit strange, but why they're there, place there, that does make me think that's some kind of marker, but I'm not having any luck at the moment. This ain't looking good, folks. Right, that's the lane. Is that the lane? Yeah, where this isn't. Oh no, that's the footpath. But I'm really struggling to find anything, and I'm sort of off the paths, because if this has been lost in time and history, then here's the places to look for these things. Plus it's a nice walk, yeah, in the countryside, and it'll be a bonus. But just intrigued, there's no real mention. I say, if you look at this location at High Elms and those Lubbock graves, the Google pin is over them. So it says, you know, the Eric Reginald Lubbock Memorial. I really think we need to be over there now, but I can't go and not explore around here. I think I'm going to end up pausing the film. So that's rising up there to High Elms Golf Club, and where the estate is, just about see in the distance there the clock tower, the stable block from the old estate. But this is the first of the shores, and I'm just going to have a look out here. Now I'm going to say there's nothing in here of any relevance. Right, as this one's closer, we'll take a peep into this one. But then you got that sort of woodland, but if I'm honest, we're starting to head too far away from where the description was. Well, I'm curious to note that there is a lot of woodland in the middle of these fields. Well, I'm into the next field. I mean, these are lovely fields for, there's all benches all around the perimeter of these fields. But great place to come for a walk. Very picturesque and nice, but it's just not giving me, it's not letting its secrets go. Anything that's happened here has either been taken away or just lost and hidden when the fields have been ploughed. Also locally is the Shoreham Air Museum, and they might be able to shed some light on this mystery, but all they're going to say to me is which aircraft, because there was half a dozen probably come down here, and there's probably not memorials for all of them. Well, we've just sat down having a bit of lunch, and I'm looking also at these benches. So you never know, these are, I mean, these are people who've died recently, and little tribute benches. But again, until you read what's on them, it could be a little tribute to that person, whoever. But I think I've got to, unfortunately, I failed you all. Sorry, I failed. I thought I'd do this quick video, come out, find this pilot's grave, and I failed. There's graves in the cemetery for a lot of them that were got actual grave sites, the war graves over there for the local people, not just airmen. You got a lot of men and women from all of the services in the war buried there. We'll have a look round there in a sec, but I think this really is a case. I'm always pushing further, but I was just getting too far away from the actual woods that I've been told. So I gave it a good look, but it's too dangerous to walk in there with Navy being so close to the country lane, and there's just so many people here. It's just making it really hard work to concentrate. So we finish this up, and we'll get in there. Well, local kids are obviously at lunchtime now, so we've just had our lunch. This has been an absolute failure. I think what I'm going to do is walk back now, keep my eyes peeled, but I'm going to put Navi in the car, move it round into the church car park so I can keep an eye on him. And I just want to quickly have a whiz round, because the war graves are quite near, they're next to the car park, so I think I'll have a quick look there. See if there's any mention of this, but you can see the people in the background there. It's just constant. It's not just one dog, it's like people with a pack of dogs, and they're just everywhere. Well, actually what we could do is walk through the churchyard from this point. I'll have to put him on the lead though, which is awkward. Well, and I think we'll do that actually, so it's turning to be just a bit of a vlog really than a sort of walk-in history or anything like that. But you can clearly see it's a beautiful place to come for a walk. It's just today wasn't the day to do it. Well, not for me anyway. We're walking through the cemetery and I'm looking at things like this, you know, graves buried here that mark someone who fought, but I'm not going to go around reading every single grave. I'm going to concentrate on the war graves and just see what we find. But the actual church, St Giles's, this is actually the church my wife and I got married, and I'll tell you, it's one beautiful little church. This one's caught my eye. We've got Sergeant PLT Reginald T. Stoneman, RAF VR, St Giles, December 16th 1943. Now the fact that it says St Giles, and we've also got Peter D. Goldsmith, St Giles, PLT, I'm assuming that's pilot RAF. Well, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but the Spitfire's gone over again. But I'm confused about these. We've got pilot officers on here, and we've got a pilot officer, Robert E. Now I'm going to pronounce that Vol, W-A-U-G-H, July 1941, St Giles. But some of these names, you know, with Singapore and all that in France, suggest they died there, but well, that's really confused me about the locations where those men fell. Whether the St Giles refers to over the skies of the church itself, because you've got Singapore and all sorts of places, but then you've got a Navy chap who served in the Navy, the Royal Navy, and it says St Giles. So that confuses me somewhat as to what those locations next to the men's name mean, whether it is where they fell or where their parish was. But then some of those saying Singapore, and I don't know, it's confusing. I'll have to do a bit of research on this one, but we're just passing the Garden of Remembrance now, and I can't really see any more sort of names on that are relevant to what we're looking for. So it's nothing to do with the war, but all the war graves are over the back there, and a lot of the chaps by that big cross memorial. So we failed miserably. Okay, so I'm going to abandon this one, but I'm probably still going to put this video out because it just shows you don't always hit luck. But if anything, this video has become a good one for sometimes you just don't get it right, and X doesn't always mark the spot, but local knowledge from people, you know, eyewitness accounts is always something to go on. So don't ever be disheartened. I've pushed on, been disappointed. There was nothing to find there apart from 2 sunken stones, which may or may not have anything to do with that particular pilot. Could be stones that have been stolen from the cemetery, the church grounds, and just discarded there, dragged to the edge of a farmer's field. Who knows who placed them there, what their original purpose was, but I'm not going to say that was it. at this point, but we'll find out, and I'll speak to the chap in question because no doubt I'll see him again, and if he can shed any more light on that, it'd be great, because I think if someone did, you know, lose their life there, then they should certainly be remembered. But on that bombshell, pardon the pun, we'll see you next time.